Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm pretty stoked for today's episode because I'm going to be doing a couple little things to the car to get it ready for the Hot Rod Power Tour. Hell yeah. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's the nation's largest migrating car show. They go to multiple events in multiple towns, and obviously it's run by Hot Rod Magazine. A lot of famous people go to it, and a lot of big-time hot rodders, and I'm really looking forward to participating. Tonight we're going to be doing a couple little things to the car to get it ready to go. Just changing the oil and degreasing the engine compartment because I haven't cleaned the engine compartment in forever. This is my daily driver. I spent most of the day cleaning the thing up and polishing the chrome. For those of you that already know me and aren't new to this channel, you know I'm into the whole ratty muscle cars look, and I don't really clean my car that often, but today it got a really good once over. Chrome polish and everything, and tomorrow, weather permitting, I'm going to be putting a nice new coat of black on the wheels. After I repaint the wheels, I'm going to have to rig up some kind of a neutral safety switch because the car has been converted from a column shifter to a floor shifter, and there is no neutral safety switch currently connected to my floor shifter, and the neutral safety switch that I believe should be attached to the transmission is nowhere to be found. And I'm going to need a neutral safety switch to adhere to NHRA regulations. I'm also probably going to have to borrow a helmet from my buddy Bernie. Either that or borrow one from somebody at the track. We'll see how that goes. But for you folks that are keeping up with the Power Tour and you know that it's already started, I wish I could have afforded to go to all the locations, but I can't really afford the time or the money to go on a road trip like that right now. And thankfully they made two different stops here in my state. The stop they're making on the 14th is just 30-40 minutes down the road from me at the Raleigh State Fairgrounds. And the stop they're making on the 15th is in Concord at ZMAX, the world famous 4-lane drag strip. I'm really looking forward to going there. I'm not totally sure, but I think there's going to be an autocross event at the fairgrounds. They don't have anywhere to drag race from what I could tell. What's funny is the event schedule didn't say there was going to be any sort of driving event there, but somebody I saw on YouTube said they're going to have autocross, so we'll see what happens. With a little bit of luck, I'll be able to enter this thing in an autocross, and it drives really good for a mid-size 40-something-year-old muscle car, and the thing's almost 50 now. But yeah, the car drives really good for something with drum brakes and no sway bars, and hopefully I'll get a chance to show you guys that. So without any further yakking, let's go ahead and get the oil changed in this thing. Got some Castrol GTX 10W30 and a nice Wix filter. That's a van filter. It's a little bit short, which I have to do because the car's got headers. Full-size small block Mopar filter touches the headers, and obviously, you know, it doesn't take a rocket surgeon to tell that superheated oil is a bad thing. So yeah, I promised you guys I'd quit talking and start working. Here we go. And when I'm done working on the car, I got a cool little piece of mail here from my buddy in Australia. Enclosed is a sticker of his channel logo, and I'm going to be putting that along with a bunch of old Speed Parts stickers and stuff on my red toolbox over there, so there'll be a little bit more than just working on the car tonight. And by the way, thanks a lot for the sticker, Chopper. I really appreciate it. You're one hell of a character. Looks decent on camera, but it's super greasy. I'll bring the light over here. Grease. That engine is supposed to be Hemi orange, and it's grease black right now. Inner fenders are also pretty nasty. We're going to take care of all that. That's what the purple power is for. That's a badass degreaser. Handy dandy oil filter wrench. I used to just stab them with a screwdriver for years before I got this thing. Oops. Almost forgot to put the pan under the car. You wouldn't believe it, but the floor is uneven. I gotta go grab my jack and jack the car up. This car has enough ground clearance so that I usually don't have to jack it up to change the oil, but like I said, ground's really uneven under here. That should be plenty. Alrighty, back to business. Wix. And for those of you that don't know this, Wix makes the best oil filters that you can get, or some of the best that you can get. I'm obviously not sponsored by them, I'm not sponsored by anybody. But they're some of the most heavy-duty filters you can get, some of the best choices for a high-performance engine. They've got a lot more metal inside of them than most filters do. A lot of parts that are cardboard and other filters are metal in this kind. And they're just made better in general. I'll put a link in the description to proof of that, where a guy cuts open multiple brands and compares them, just in case you're interested. Good enough. In fact, that's plenty. It's all slick with oil and almost impossible to turn, so that's how I'm going to turn it. Get a little grip with some heavy sandpaper. Worked like a charm. Alright, now that we're under here, you guys can actually see this chain that I use to keep the car from breaking engine mounts. It also helps me put a little bit more power to the ground so it's not soaking up all that torque that it takes to pull up on the rubber engine mount. Alright, gonna let that drain for a while, obviously. Alright, while we're letting the oil drain thoroughly, let's go ahead and mix up some Purple Power. Got a little spray bottle over here that I'm gonna use with some nice little measuring lines on it that I should be able to do it fairly decently with. I think I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Oh yeah, let's just get it all over the place. Well, it said mix it 20-to-1, so I'm guessing that should be right. Maybe a little bit more, because we're cutting some strong grease. There. That's going to end up a little stronger than I thought. Thought I had more water than that. Should work good then. Let's start with the inner fenders. I want to let it soak on the block a little bit more. Oh yeah, look at that grease just going away. That's awesome. Man, it's been forever since I cleaned down there. I'm gonna have to let that soak for a while like I do with the block. Alrighty guys, I've been cleaning the engine compartment like crazy for a couple hours now. You can actually see a little bit of orange on the motor. Unfortunately, some of the paint has flecked off, and that's not because the cleaner was too strong. It was actually just because I cut some corners and didn't really prep the block very well before I painted it when I put it in here. But the Purple Power did its job. Engine compartment is nice and clean looking. It's not totally clean. I'm probably going to come back and finish up some of the hard to reach areas tomorrow when it gets bright. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put the oil here in the car, and depending on how I feel after that, I might wrap the episode up. We'll see. Alrighty guys, time to fill her back up. Got the plug back on there off camera. I like to use a bottle of Lucas Oil Stabilizer with my oil changes because I've noticed that it helps a lot with valve train noise and smoke both. Especially if you've got bad rings or noisy valve train components, either one, which this car, it does make a little bit of valve train noise, but not much. That's why in one of my earlier videos I mentioned that I wanted to get new push rods and new lifters for it. It makes a little bit of noise when it first starts up, but after a split second, you know, as soon as the oil gets circulating, it sounds a lot better. And with the oil stabilizer in it, it sounds a lot better too. I wouldn't be using any additives if I didn't have proof that it was doing good. I know a lot of guys kind of scoff at oil stabilizer and other snake oil products like that, but I can vouch for this stuff. It definitely calms down harsh engine noises, and it keeps you from smoking quite so much, whether that be blow-by or exhaust smoke, and in turn that helps your oil last longer because it's not consuming as much. And that's one thing I can say about this car compared to a lot of my others, is it doesn't consume oil at all. If you guys watched my video of me getting my old Jimmy running again, you'll see that that thing's got some terrible blow-by and oil consumption issues. It's going to take a while for all that to run out. So, make a cut. Alrighty guys, while the Lucas oil stabilizer is draining, I'm going to pour some oil in it. Thankfully, this V8 has 2 oil fill caps. Alrighty guys, I got the engine cleaned up a whole lot better. I might touch the thing up a little bit with some Hemi orange paint tomorrow, depending on if I can get to the parts store. We'll see. But things are pretty much wrapped up for tonight, except for opening the letter from my Aussie buddy Chopper and stickering up the toolbox. And I'm gonna let that happen tomorrow because I'm getting really tired, and rightfully so, because I really let the time sneak up on me. I looked outside a minute ago and I can see the sun coming up. So I'm going to get a couple hours of shut-eye before I got to get up today and continue this video then. See you guys in a bit. It'll be a shortcut for you, but it'll be a good couple hours of shut-eye for me. Alrighty guys, it's the next day, and I did end up getting some Hemi orange paint and repainting the front of the engine. Looks a whole lot better. Looks way better under the hood if you ask me. Definitely presentable enough for a car show in my opinion. Right now I've got the wheels off of it because I need to do some brake adjustments and probably bleed them again. It has recently turned drums and brand new shoes, so once I get everything sorted out and working properly, it should be stopping really good. I just took it for the first test drive since installing the new brake shoes a little bit ago. And they were grabbing a little bit too hard in my opinion, even though they still need to be bled. So in that case, while we're waiting on the brakes to cool down a little bit so that I can take them apart, why don't we go ahead and open up this letter that I got from my buddy Chopper in Australia, like I was talking about last night. He's got a picture of the Queen of England there for a stamp. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a channel sticker of his. Looks like there's a little message for me on the back. I'll see if it's something I can read out loud for you. Yeah, it's just a nice friendly little message from him. It says, "Hi Impact's Garage. Here's my channel sticker. Thanks for watching my vids. Chopper's Rule 1. He's a really cool guy. Oh damn it, my phone's ringing. Well, whoever it was hung up on me, so they can go stick it up their bum. Anyway, Chopper's a cool dude. Go check out his channel. He's always tinkering with something. He's trying to build a Mad Max vehicle right now out of some scrap metal and four-wheeler parts that he's got, so that's going to come out pretty cool when he's done with it, I'm sure. Anyhow, thanks again for the sticker, Chopper. It's going right over there on the toolbox in just a minute. I've got a whole bag full of other speed part stickers here that's going to help dress it up. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next few minutes while the car is cooling off. Alright guys, there you have it. Got the toolbox all stickered up. I've either ordered something from these speed part shops or used something from the brand from all of these stickers. And of course there's Chopper's sticker right there. I put it on that side because when I roll it back up against the wall over there, that's where it's going to be seen the best. But I've got MSD ignition on my car. I've ordered stuff from Jags, ordered stuff from Summit, ordered stuff from Speedway. It has a Detroit True Track 355 rear gear in it. I don't have any Holley Carb stickers, even though I'm a huge Holley Carb fan. I couldn't bring myself to use these Hughes converter stickers that I got because I spent about $450 on a brand new Hughes 3000 RPM converter for this car when I did the engine swap, and we had to take the transmission out and put it back in one more time than necessary because the converter was bad, brand new. Unfortunately, It took me a long time after I bought the converter to get around to the engine swap, so it was well past the point of being able to return it. Jegs told me they couldn't do anything about it, so I thought about getting in touch with the guys from Hughes and seeing what they say, but I honestly have been really busy lately and haven't gotten around to it. So yeah guys, that's how the toolbox looks now. I bet these brakes have cooled down enough for me to work on them, so I'm going to get to that. Talk to you in a bit. Well guys, I'm not quite done with the brakes, but I am ready to take a break, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to wrap this episode up here because there's not much else for you guys to see. Oh, just forgot to tell you, I hooked up a crankcase ventilation line to my air cleaner because I was getting sick of all that blow by, and hopefully I won't have to clean up quite so much grease now that I've got this sorted out. I didn't think in my younger days that changing the crankcase ventilation on the car would make it create so much grease and whatnot under the hood, but you know, it's kind of a no-brainer now that I put some thought into it. Yeah guys, I almost forgot. I was getting ready to wrap this video up, and I just wanted to mention that my mom is in really bad health right now. She's been a smoker pretty much all her life since she could drive, and she's having some pretty serious lung problems, and the doctors haven't given her a very long time to live. So I would really appreciate it if you guys, if you're the praying type, to keep her in your prayers, and if you're not the praying type, I'd still appreciate any, you know, positive vibes that you want to send out to her, whatever you guys do. So yeah, just keep my mom in your thoughts and prayers. I'd really appreciate it. She would too. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching guys. Next video you see from me will probably be something to do with the power tour. I doubt I'll find anything to make a vid about before then. Thanks a million for watching guys. Take it easy till next time. Have a good one.